Good morning, everybody. Thought I would jump on morning tea time, got my cup of tea. Been wanting to share something with you guys, and so thought I would jump on quickly. Talk a little bit, chapter 3, Know Your Stuff. So, in our world, we've been doing something called Showcase, which is where we pretty much a one-day career planning and workshop on a Saturday that we're doing with clients. We get a whole bunch of people in the room and spend a day looking at where they are, where they want to be, doing some stuff on clarity. Held in Melbourne last week and coming to Sydney next week. One of the things that's come up, and we probably haven't done a lot of Facebook Lives on this before, so I think it's really an important one to focus on for two reasons. But it's sitting in this piece around articulating our value. When I say that, it's what value do I bring to an organization, or what problems do I solve? The two pieces of feedback I'm constantly giving clients when we're working on their CV. To everyone, I'm always saying we need to be able to articulate your value, the value you bring, the problems you solve. That's how we frame up or put a container around how you articulate the strengths, your capability that you bring to organizations. And inherently, that is incredibly difficult. We know that. That's why we get clients to just kind of tinker away and staircase their way on working on their CV and getting to a point where they've really done some good work on that. But I think one of the distinctions I want to share here is the difference between what you know from a subject matter specialty. And so I think if around the world of finance, and you might know around transfer pricing, tax, accounting standards, financial reporting, versus this functional expertise, which might be around process improvement, internal controls, what else? Project management potentially. That kind of very much sits in that functional expertise versus the subject expertise. And both are really important. There's more than just the two orientations. But I think it's a really good start whenever we work with clients and accelerate around personal brand. We're always looking at getting a whole bunch of stuff on a page and then, identifying some key themes. And the inspiration for this video came from when I was doing that process with an accelerator. And we were just really sitting back and going, okay, great. You know about research. You know about data. You know about stakeholder management. You know about customer experience. You also know about project management. And so being able to have a couple of categories that talked to not only what she knows, which is around subject, which was very much the orientation of her historical career. So talking about where she's come from, research and data, versus where she's heading, which was this customer experience and kind of operations continuous improvement type space. So I think a really important one to think about in terms of those lenses, functional versus subject matter specialty. Worthwhile pulling out your CV. I think now is always a good time. Anytime's a good time to work on your CV. The worst time to work on your CV is when you're wanting it to be perfect so you can apply for a role. Pulling out our CV, thinking about even from the context of personal brand, even if we're not on a CV path, but just thinking about, what are those categories for you? Is it project management? Is it stakeholder management? What's your subject matter specialty? What's your functional specialty? We often transition into a conversation around what are your currencies of influence, but a really important one, not only for articulating your value on a CV, but also for anyone looking to negotiate good salary increases. If you haven't already taken a copy, 7 Things to Do Before You Ask for a Pay Rise, worthwhile checking out. On page or number 4 is all around the value stack. And I think this starts to help you build on what I've been talking about, which is, we want to have more than a single dimensional or two-dimensional personal brand. We want to be deep. We want to have strong articulation of what it is that we bring. That takes work. Those answers don't magically fall out of the sky in a really lovely, well-articulated summary. So it does take work to get there. But even at a basic point, thinking about what is it what do you want to be known for? The next step really in core confidence that we didn't talk a lot about, but we are doing some work on. We've done workshops, Fiona and I've done workshops on this for years, but we teach on a lot, but are looking at potentially the next evolution in the book journey is around personal brand. So I think a really important one at any point in your career, at any point in the year, but particularly now as we come up to performance reviews, It's another really good opportunity for you to be able to position your value. Again, what value do you bring? What problems do you solve? They are the two main questions we want to be thinking about, both from a functional and a subject matter specialty. So I hope that's helpful. Any questions, pop them in the comments below. Would love to help in any way we can, and look forward to having Fiona back on board. She's back from Europe next week, so she will be back, and we'll be back together doing the Facebook Lives. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.